Hello, people. Bruce Bow here with second installment of Redneck Reckoning. Redneck Reckoning, name my wife Kip made. She thought it was good, and I think it's good too. Redneck, of course, we'll talk about that. It is lots of people do not understand the roots of it and where it came from. It came from the elites calling people that worked in the fields and in the sun, they'd have sunburned necks, hence rednecks. That's where it goes. It came from. So it's kind of an honor to be a redneck, I do believe. Reckoning. Well, reckoning is how I use it is not what most people would say is the definition, but it's the way I use it. And because my grandpa Walter would always come and say when there's something that was going to get done, had to be done, is I reckon we better get that done with. And that meant, yeah, hell, high water, that's what's going to happen. We're going to get that done. And that's what we have to have. We have to have basically redneck, hardworking people that are going to get something done and that needs to be done. That's how the name works for me. All right. So if you don't like it, I don't give a dang. All right. What are we going to talk about today? It is education. I was in education. I went to educate school for education. So, many years, and many years ago too. I did a little coaching, lots of coaching. I guess 40 years of wrestling coaching, and that was about all the education, a master's degree I worked in. All right, I didn't. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy actually going to school, learning a lot about different things. But overall, I knew it wasn't going to be, it wasn't supposed to be a lucrative job. So I didn't stay in it, stay in education. I did other things. And that's the way it is. And that's what happens. I mean, some jobs are meant to be profitable and some are just decent jobs, things that have to be done. And dang, it's a great job, and you should be respected. I respect the heck out of teachers that are doing the jobs, getting the job done, and that means teaching our students. And what are we going to do with the students nowadays? Education. Well, let's start with what the heck happened, because we're starting looking at this. It's a disaster right now, right? You have to admit that this education in North Dakota, in the United States, is a disaster from where it was. When the Department of Education first started, it was the United States was number one in the world in education. We taught our kids, and they did a good job, and the teachers did a good job. The administrators did a good job by not bugging everybody. School boards didn't. They took care and made sure that the superintendent did the job that he was supposed to do, and the schools ran well. Nowadays, I don't know what the heck happened, but everybody's sitting there thinking, well, I don't know. I mean, it's not my job. It's not me that's responsible. Nobody is taking responsibility anymore. Everybody is blaming the other guy. You look at the teachers, who do they blame? They blame the students, the mothers, the fathers. They blame the parents. And some of the times the administration. The administration, who do they blame? Teachers, parents, students. Students, same thing. They blame everybody else. Everybody else is getting blamed for our terrible education right now. And that's probably where we start at when we start looking at how the heck to fix it. One, take responsibility for yourselves, for your jobs. all right, for your education. That's the first thing we got to start with. Start with getting the hell out of the idea that it's somebody else's fault. It's your fault if the kids aren't learning. You got to look at it that way. Administration, it's your fault. Teachers, it's your fault. Students, it's your fault. Parents, it's your fault. Got that? Then we can start getting something right. Responsibilities. Okay. Second thing is priorities. All right. Priorities are very, very important. What do we want to teach them? We sure the hell can't go on the stuff that the Department of Education in Washington, D.C. is doing because they're a disaster. Okay, we got to get rid of that damn department. And everybody wants to get rid of that department, it sounds like. But guess what? I'm going to be telling you what's going to happen. Nothing. They're going to talk about it and they're going to have their little cabinet meetings and all this stuff. And Trump's going to try to sit there and say, we got to do it and yada, yada, yada. But in the end, they'll sit there and say, oh, we're going to reform it. Guaranteed that's going to happen. I mean, everybody's going to say, oh, we got to get rid of it. Guaranteed. They're going to say, oh, we're going to reform the Department of Education and it's going to be all better. That's going to be bullshit, by the way, because there's not a chance in hell. That thing has to go. You sit there and you always talk about local control. Well, okay, local control. You better have local control, but you also have to get rid of expecting money from the federal government. State government, okay, I can live with that. I can live with, well, I can't live with, or I shouldn't have to live with our superintendent of public instructions from Bismarck. I mean, talk about how the hell did you vote that girl in there twice? I mean, my God, one time was like, do you even have any idea on how you vote for things? All right, that's got to go. All right, we got to start getting better people elected if we want, especially if you, well, what do we have to talk about here? Obviously, the Basler's got to go. Start with that. No, we don't have to start with that. We start with the school boards. Oh my God! Now, I went to a school board meeting in Hillsborough. I'll talk to you about it a little bit, and they're decent people in on the school board. Not what really needs to be done, but I'll talk about that later too. But I mean, it's some of these school boards like that. Williston, are they criminals? I mean, they're sitting there and it's like robbery out there. And it is. Education is robbery. And that's why you won't get rid of the Department of Education because everybody got their fingers in the pot. And there's a lots of people, including your senators and your Congress people, that get money for that stuff. It's just the way it is. Until we get rid of it, we have to start being diligent about getting rid of this crappy stuff. And voting in good school board members, people that know how to do a budget, know how things what should be done and what shouldn't be done. Priorities. Now, obviously, it's English, math, science, and that, what's the other one? History, whatever. Those are your priorities. I was in athletics obviously my whole life, and I love it. But still, it's not going to be a priority. That should not be one of the priorities. Okay, to have a good education system. Neither should art. Sorry, guys. Neither should music. I like them. They should be there, but they're not a priority. They do not get the money that is or take money away from the important core curriculum or classes. All right, that is definitely something we have to work on too. Priorities. We don't want to, they call it need and wants. Like that's kind of a pansy way of saying it. So I'm just gonna say, get your priorities right. All right, that's the way I see it here. I talked about before that I was going to talk about the school board meeting in Hillsborough. All right, they had a deficit problem. They're over budget by about $500,000. They're not going to say it's a whole big deal, but it is a $500,000, and who the heck they going to get it from? Probably us. Yes, the citizens. Because don't we always, you know? And they're going to sit there and they talked about getting money from grants and everything else that they could possibly think of. That's still our money, for the love of God. The state doesn't make and create any money. When you get state money, it's not, it's mine and yours, taxes. Same with the federals. The federals are even worse. I mean, everybody thinks, oh my God, we got a grant. Ours isn't that great. It's like, Jesus Christ, you idiot. That is your money. That's not special. You didn't do anything. You don't get nothing special. You get back money that you paid for already. You sent into Washington, okay, or Bismarck. Come on now. Stop this stuff, people. Understand what the hell's happening here. We are funding a, problem because, one, our proficiency rates are terrible. At the best, 50% of your kids are at the grade level where they should be. 50%? I mean, my good, are you serious? You think that that's responsible? No, like 75, 90%. That might be something where, well, there's always going to be a few kids that can't keep up. That is expected, or don't have the drive to keep up. Yes, but when for the kids, over half the kids aren't keeping up, there's a problem. All right. And budgeting, we'll get back to that with the superintendent of Hillsborough. He goes, well, we really don't have so much about the budget being a problem or the deficit being the problem. We have a problem because we don't have enough students. What the hell does that mean? I mean, we sit there and we're going to blame, our goal is to take students from someplace else so we have more students. That's our answer, because guess what, we get more money from the state and the federals, but they get, that's still our money. It's like going, oh wow, that's the answer. How the hell is getting money from one pocket to the other pocket, your pockets, working? It's not working. Okay? This is not the answer. The superintendent in Hillsborough is a nice guy, but oh my God, are you serious? What the kind of crap is that you try to tell us? That we just need to get money from somebody else? Oh, in another school district? And guess what? They're going to try to get school money from Hillsborough School District too. All right? Think about that. That's probably one of the most asinine things I ever heard. Well, not really. I heard over the years, believe me, we heard enough of stuff. But and it is and sitting there thinking we need a revenue. We need more revenue. No, we need to learn how to get our balanced budget. All right, that's where you're mistaken there, guys in Hillsborough. A balanced budget. Think about it. How are you going to balance the budget? Are you going to have to eliminate teachers? If you have to, you have to. Strategist, wow, that was free money for 3 years, and now you don't get that money anymore. Was that a good idea? No, it wasn't a good idea. Okay, that was actually another excellent idea. That was like, what the hell were you thinking? You could not see what was happening number of years ago, what's happening with the number of students and stuff. All right, guess what? Less students, less teachers. Think about that. Okay? And okay, I know. Well, I had one of the school board members talked about, oh, we can't have these big classes because, like I said one of the meetings, I said me and my wife both went through classes with 25 to 35 kids in them. Nowadays, there's 15 and it's like going, holy crap. And I said, we have to get less teachers. I'm sorry. They're going to have to teach more kids. And one of the school board members says, well, kids aren't like they used to be. I mean, they're different. And you can't do it like that. It's like all I'm thinking about is what the hell are you talking about? The kids are different. Well, how do you figure that out? I mean, where do you get that? I mean, like I'm thinking, where are they different? Are they biologically different? I mean, well, you could possibly go with Harvey Danger on that one. That only stupid people are breeding. Maybe that's what's happening here. But I don't believe that the kids are changing. You are changing the system. You are being lazy at things. I mean, we're talking the whole bunch, the teachers, the administration, the students. Everybody's got to start working at it a lot harder than we're doing. All right. Blame game, got to stop. Good budgets, knowing, watching, learning how to budget, how to keep the uh, your budget under control, knowing what's going to happen in the future. Obviously, it's like what do they expect in Hillsborough? What do they expect in Fargo? That there's going to be like everybody's going to move up here and we're going to be all okay? It's not. And besides that, we're still paying for it, guys. Uh, Education, we're in trouble. I'll have some more talks on education in the near future. Uh, Next time I talk, I'm going to probably talk about security of the country because we're really it's kind of ugly out there. And I know talking, listening to some people that are serious about it, they say 2025 is going to be a very vicious and ugly year. All right. Next time. Until then, this is Bruce Moe with Redneck Reckoning, and I'll say goodbye. Good luck, people.